If a
Yeah,
goal
yeah.
looks more beautiful, if a player has like mainly enjoyed the game more, that's one thing. I love that. But winning for me is it's everything, which is why if Arnie Slot can't
Mm.
win enough games, I'm not going to want to support him in the long term.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
for as much as the entertainment value is there, if it's like Americans had an issue with football because they don't understand the concept of a draw.
Mm.
So they had to learn football, but none of us like draws. Nobody likes drawing games. So the entertainment comes with the skill and for me the end product. So when I'm saying like, okay, Salah, I rate him extremely highly to the extent that I would put him on at least the same level as a Steven Gerrard. And for me, Steven Gerrard is one of the best midfielders ever. So for me to put Salah on that level, I personally think he's one of the best wide forwards ever. Um, and when I think about Hazard,
Mm.
Hazard's like that guy at school. He was better than everyone by a country mile,
Mm.
but then just got stuck on road. I can't lie, it's true. Hazard is
No,
a
no, I
person.
know, I do. The thing is, I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I think as a professional as well, he probably wasn't the great. Well, obviously, there's rumors around he wasn't a great trainer and stuff like that as well.
Messi's the same apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Because
Okay.
he was talking about it before. I can't remember who it was, an ex-Barca player, and they were talking about they'd come in, everyone's training, Messi's just chilling.
Yeah, yeah,
Messi's just
yeah,
chilling, and then when it comes to game day, he's untouchable. There
yeah.
are
Yeah,
a few players like
I
that.
think I heard about that. Yeah, yeah. But this is the thing. This is why these guys are mavericks because it's like a light bulb switch moment. You know, they can just turn it on when they need to. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um. But yeah, no. As I said, just going back to Salah. Yeah, I think it's safe to say Salah's cemented himself in the Premier League in terms of the greats. You know, as a
yeah,
footballer, as I said, for what I like to see, not for me, but I think yeah, when it's all said and done, you know, he can at least look at himself and think, you know, like I will rightfully go down as one of the greatest to play in the Premier League. And as I
yeah,
say, consistency, always turning up. I think that's one thing you can't doubt against him, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But what I want to do is I want to go back to what you said earlier about Rashford. Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Now the thing with Rashford. Yeah. Rashford for me has never been good enough. He never was. When he first broke in, obviously there was hype. He got the 2 goals against Arsenal. Obviously he got the goal, which obviously made everyone sit up and take notice. In the Champions League or the Europa game where Martial was injured, and then
Was that
even I
against
think
PSG?
yeah, well, no, it was when Martial got injured, and then it's meant to be Will Keane who's meant to step in, but he got injured,
Okay.
and then Rashford got his chance, and then obviously scored, and then the following game was against Arsenal where he bagged 2.
Yeah,
So what's happened with Rashford, yeah, is that and going in this is what I mean. It's going back to the issue that we spoke about with the race, which I'm going to link it back to the England national team. But with Rashford has been getting away with it because these fans have tried to use Pogba, Martial, Fred, Eric Bailly as the scapegoats. Yeah. The problem Rashford has now is that Martial's no longer there,
yeah,
Pogba's no longer there. Obviously, Lingard was a different case because even though Lingard was English as well and he's light skinned, so he was given a bit more of bit more of leeway from this fan base.
yeah,
Fred was criticized. Eric Bailly was criticized. Yeah. Now the thing with Rashford now is that because this fan base are trying to push through Garnacho,
yeah.
Rashford now has become the scapegoat because he's been given the big contracts. Obviously, Sancho's there as well, and Sancho's from London, and these guys don't like Londoners really anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously they'll start talking about his attitude, this and that. The only one he's got is Amad Diallo, and Amad Diallo hasn't been playing regularly. So what's happened now is that because they're desperate to push through Garnacho, yeah, who's crap, he's rubbish, Garnacho, yeah.
He's
But
got
they're
that
trying
overhead
their
kick and that's
best.
it.
Nah, he's rubbish, man. He's rubbish. Like I've seen too many. I've seen too many players from my 37 years of watching football and playing to know that this guy ain't good. You know what I mean? He's just being pushed by this fan base for some reason, and what it is because he plays on the direct side of um of Rashford.
Yeah,
Rashford's now the scapegoat for Garnacho, and then as well because Rashford's from Wivenshaw, Manchester.
yeah,
He's given more protection, you know. And going back to the England team, this is why, you know, I like France. Why? Because France have a lot of players that are more relatable to me in terms of, you know, you've got Mbappe, you've got Dembele, Pogba, Martial, Camavinga, Chouameni. You know what I mean? The list is endless. Whereas with England, you're only one performance away or one knockout game away from the blame being on all the black players, just like what happened at the Euros, you know? And this is why when people ask me, oh, do you support England? The answer is no. Like, you know, I like watching good football and England don't play good football. And
yeah,
if you look at England's national team now, the only certainty in that England team that's black is Bukayo Saka. And that's because the criticism that he was getting given when he was young. The problem is now Rashford now surpassed the requirements because Gordon is there. Sancho should be in this squad as well. Ivan Toney, as I said, he's only going to play when Harry Kane can't.
yeah.
Kobe Minu should be making his way through, but he'll have a tough time because this manager decides to play Conor Gallagher ahead of him. And obviously Declan Rice is in there. Mark Guehi has made himself a fixture, but we all know if Harry Maguire was fit, Guehi ain't even seeing the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to Tyreek Mitchell. You know, at least he's been playing regularly this season. He's a left back. But no, this manager wants to go and take Luke Shaw, who's been injured. You know, and all these things I don't miss. So this is why when England got beat the other day, I just knew there'd be criticism with some black players. It was obvious because
Yeah.
this is what they do. They try to find scapegoats.
I
And
think
then
the media.
Sterling as well.
Yeah.
Sterling was instrumental in England to that run to the Euro final against Italy. Who's
Yeah.
on the front pages? Harry Kane. And this country does this consistently. So, you know, I can't really get to grips with this England team. I don't rate the manager. The set of players they've got is the best players they've had for probably ever. But he's going to play the wrong team. And it's just a matter of fact of just watching England because it's football.
How do
But
you
when they
compare
play
them
against
to
a
that
better team,
golden generation?
yeah, I think collectively what England have available now is
Yeah.
better than what they've got ever, in my opinion. The golden generation of what they say of Scholes and um, Lampard and
Scholes,
Gerrard,
Lampard, Beckham. Yeah.
Beckham, yeah. Obviously, them guys are good players, but I think collectively what England have to call on is
Yeah.
probably better as like a wider pool of players. But when they play against the best nations, they're going to get beat because these other nations just have that much more quality, and they got players that get the job done, and England haven't got that, and unfortunately, and as I said, the manager's going to play the wrong players anyway. So,
I mean, looking at England, for example, England have the players to get the job done. Yeah, they have players that their teams rely on to win trophies regularly. Like, I mean, minus the Arsenal players. But when you look at everyone else, they've all
you
like.
can say the same thing for Harry Kane as well at the moment.
Wait, no, he's won something now, isn't he?
He won nothing. He won Audi Cup. Audi Cup.
Okay,
Friendly,
I
yeah.
would say for Kane, though, you can rely on him to score. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
expect
There's
him
no
to
doubt.
score.
No
But I
doubt.
think the team has to be set up for him to get the best out of him, or he needs to be told, you stay here and you do this. Because he doesn't have to have lightning pace to get him behind. Because he's got good movement.
Yeah. But the thing is, Harry Kane, though, yeah, because he's a very good footballer,
yeah,
I can see his frustration because he's too good to just be playing on the shoulder or playing right up top to hold it up because he wants to get involved in the game, which is why, as a manager, Ivan Toney would be more suited to play in that role because Ivan
Yeah,
Toney wouldn't mind just being up top there and playing as that number 9 focal point. But Harry Kane wants to get on the ball, which you can't blame him because he's a good footballer. The
but
problem
this
he's
is the
got,
thing.
the problem
This is the
he's got
go on.
Foden who wants to come to the ball, Bellingham who's taking up that space, Bukayo Saka who comes in field.
Yeah,
So he's got nowhere to get in really. And then if you're gonna say to him, stay up top, naturally he's gonna come back because he's a number 10 really. And the thing is as well, he's not gonna be in the game. So this is
this
where
is
they're
the
gonna
thing.
mess up.
Ideally, all he would have to do is play on the shoulder a few times,
Yeah,
sack out more often, yeah,
yeah,
just to get him behind a couple times, 3, 4 times. I guarantee you that that defensive line is dropping 10, 15 yards back. Guarantee you, they're not pressing England the same way.
yeah.
Teams have
I,
noticed you either let England just pass around for ages and get locked in, stop and stock, or you press them.
yeah,
Because England, I think, look the best when we pin someone in.
yeah,
And that kind of fits Southgate's system more. But getting from A to B, he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah.
yeah.
So when
I
you've
agree.
got someone like Kane, I know he's not that fast. He's fast enough to force the defensive line to drop back. That
Mm,
only has to happen a couple of times, and he's
yeah.
going to be playing in and around the box for the rest of the game.
Mm,
But the way that we're setting up, I mean, yeah, Ivan Toney 100% for me as a target man running the channels suits us more in terms
yeah,
of an out ball. I don't think we would need it if he trusted Anthony Gordon. I don't trust him that much, to be fair, but I think if you're going to bring him,
yeah.
you have to take a gamble at some point.